Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another week in gaming. So this week has been, it ain't been slow on gaming news. It hasn't been popping like it was when like the Bethesda thing was going on and stuff like that. But it's been some lit stuff coming out. So Resident Evil Village, they dropped another demo. I think it was only on PlayStation for I think like 2 weeks. I think it's don't come to Xbox until May maybe. And then we'll probably get to play the second demo. I don't know if the first demo is coming to Xbox. Who knows with the tall vampire lady? We don't know. I don't know all the details to that. Sony had Returnal. They showed gameplay of that. I think it was like 45 minutes. I watched it. I mean, the game doesn't look bad. The scenery's kind of nice. The gameplay though, like the gunplay and the dodging, it was kind of like Nier Automata, just with laser guns and aliens, but they were shooting like orbs. I'm talking about exactly like the Nier Automata little robots. They were just shooting orbs at you, and you just dodge the orbs and then shoot them back. And I'm like, I don't know how fun that can be. And you learn that the world is procedurally generated. It's not like a game built to be like a game you just play through. Like, it's procedurally generated, and every time you die, you go to the world again. It might change. I don't know how they made it, but it looks good though. Like, graphically, I mean gameplay wise and story wise, I couldn't tell you. It was only 45 minutes of the beginning, but graphically it looks good. I don't know like what they're running. It's probably gonna be in like 4K 60 or something. I mean, it was dark too. There wasn't that much light anywhere. We only got to see the first world, like the forest, and it had like tentacles and shit going around. Like, it was definitely like a crazy sci-fi world. And it was a good look. Like, I like stuff like that. So that was nice. But then, Sony news came out that after your battery die and your PlayStation 4 and you don't connect to the internet no more, you can't play games on it no more. No digital games, no physical games. It just doesn't fucking work no more. You have to connect to the internet to play any games on PlayStation 4 once your battery dies. And like the original battery in the console. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that. Like, that's sounds like the DRM shit from like original Xbox One launch that people hated, but it sounds like Sony had it all this time. Like, we heard rumors back then that Sony had it too, but they took it out. But now people legit tested it on YouTube. They took the battery out, put a new battery in, and restarted their games, and none of them bitches work. You get the same network error because it has to like sync with the cloud and all of that. And I'm like, damn. So once the Sony network goes down and that battery dies in your console, you can't play them bitches no more on PlayStation 4. And then some people was like, oh, the PlayStation 5 got that too. I'm like, they better not fucking have a fucking battery in that bitch that just dies, because that'd be outrageous. But I mean, everybody has internet now. Like, if you don't got internet and you're trying to play console of this day and age, like, I don't know. Like, I think you're getting left behind now. I think you're really getting left behind. Like, retro consoles like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, original Xbox, like things like that. Like, come on now, there's retro. Those didn't need internet to play games, but now everything is online server somewhere. Somebody's online server is keeping your data and all that. So I kind of understand that you should be able to connect to a connection, but the people that cannot, I mean, you're definitely getting left behind. Xbox has some pretty good news. The show dropped. It was good. I played some. I'm trash. I know y'all probably seen the video. Hot garbage. Hot garbage at the show. But I've never played a baseball game before. I wasn't gonna be the best if I just got the first one now. And then rumors came out that Sony has been making deals with other game companies to not get games to go to Game Pass, so they can, sell the game and people just don't leave their platform to go get Game Pass and just play it on there. And I mean, I understand why, especially like marketing deal games, or like MLB The Show is created by Sony. It's made by Sony developers. The first thing you see when MLB The Show turns on the Xbox is the Sony logo. And it's like, and isn't Game Pass for the free. I know they felt that pain. But they're like buying deals so people don't put their game in Game Pass. I'm like, that sounds horrible. How much money are you spending on that? You just shut down some studios and made them go work with your bigger studios to make games because you don't want to fund indie projects, but you're paying to keep games to not go on Game Pass. Not to make them exclusive. It's not the same. No, to just keep them from going to Game Pass the same day they launch on a PlayStation. That's what they want. I'm like, that sounds fucking dumb. Hopefully that's not true, because like if Jim Ryan extra dumbass is doing some shit like that, like, come on now, bro. Sony's gonna sink. They're gonna sink. They're gonna drown if they're doing some dumb shit like that. I mean, if it works for them, if that's what they want to do with their money, then hey, that's fine. You could be spending that money making PlayStation Now better. Then people would buy it and you would make money. But no, they're not gonna invest in PlayStation Now. It sounds like they want to invest in buying freaking deals to not make games go to Game Pass. Hopefully that's just fake. Hopefully that's some fake news, and everybody can just be like, all right, Sony, don't do that dumb shit, because it doesn't sound like a smart idea. Like, oh, let's give you another couple $1 million just so it doesn't go to Game Pass. But Microsoft can legit give them plenty of millions to make it go to Game Pass, and they still get to sell their game. So they get to sell their game and get paid for Game Pass. Or Sony have to give them matching money for what Xbox would give them for Game Pass, so they would just sell their game on Xbox. That sounds like Sony's making a lot of money. They don't have that much money to just be throwing around either. Or they would be investing in a lot more things, but they're not, because they don't have the amount of money. That's why they're selling games at 70. That's why they're pushing hardware so hard. Because Microsoft, everybody talk like, oh, Microsoft not selling that many consoles. Like, I mean, they're selling out just like Sony is. Sony might be selling more because they're making more, because they're pushing more. But Microsoft is selling software because Microsoft is a software company. Xbox is becoming a software company that sells hardware. But once xCloud is done expanding, because they're almost on browser now, we're testing it. Browser xCloud is coming. iOS xCloud is coming on the Safari browser because they can't get an app yet. But once those things are fleshed out and finished and xCloud starts booming across all these platforms, like I said in my other video, Sony's going to be stuck in the middle of a web of Xbox gaming with no room to grow. And it's looking like all they're doing is signing fucking gaming deals to not make shit go to Game Pass. And freaking MLB The Show is on xCloud. I learned that today. You can play that shit on your phone. On xCloud app right now. You can download. I mean, you can just play that shit, bro. I'm like, Sony really got finesse out of their own game on their Xbox. I've never seen no shit like that before. But Xbox has been dropping other news too. They had a whole tech showcase where they were displaying what velocity architecture and the AI super sampling thing that AMD is building together can help, like, expand a game world and load game data so fucking fast. And they were showing like tech demo after tech demo of like what this engine can do on an old console and how would it run games, and then what would it do on the Xbox Series X and S with velocity, making those games, like, I'm talking about, cut them bitches down like to like 4 seconds of loading. It's crazy. And it's not like loading screen loading. No, I'm talking about like you turn around and everything will load when you turn around loading. Like, it loads fucking fast. Everything in a distance would load in 4 seconds. So they don't have to like cut things off and like make you go through these like weird ass passes. So look, you play Outriders. Please tell me you haven't. But if you have, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Outriders got the dumbest shit in the world. They have these cutscenes where you like slide through a wall or like lift a log and then drop the log back. Like, those are like interactive cutscenes that usually games like Jedi Fallen Order, they put those in, where you like creep through a wall and have like the little robot jumping around you and like swimming under things, shit like that. They had those in there so you didn't have a loading screen. But then Square Enix, I don't know who the fuck made games for them, because they had those cutscenes where you lift the log, put the log back, and then they have a fucking loading screen right after it. It made no fucking sense. But yeah, with the velocity architecture thing, like, they're gonna eliminate that from games. They're like, they're really trying to eliminate that from games. And the way they were showing things, how it up-reses graphics, increases detail on like the main images, and then it like gradually fades out detail where you not looking, so it can increase the image in front of you. I'm looking at this texture like I don't know how to make a game, but I know people that do know how to make a game. They're probably looking at this like we can make some beast ass shit with this, and they're gonna get the tools to use it. And I know Sony and them had a showcase like this, but that was last year before the PlayStation launched, and none of that shit's ready. I'm glad Microsoft having a showcase now because that shit is getting ready. At least it's closer to being ready than Sony having that shit last year and then none of that shit being ready for them. Because none of the software that was advertised really truly is being used on these consoles at all. Microsoft got how many things in this console with velocity, with the damn, what the fuck is the AI engine called? And I forget all the shit. Like, it's on the box right there. Like, they have so many things in that console that are not getting used. Mesh shaders, shit like that. Like, all the RDNA 2 features that's barely being used. Barely. But now they're, like, getting more used. Like, their stages are progressing. They're getting better. And now they're advertising it. Like, this is what we're going to do with gaming. And it's looking bright for the Xbox future. So yeah, I think that was it for gaming news. Except like Rust and them dropping on console, but like console Rust is just about to be cut down Rust, so I'm not gonna really talk about that. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new. I don't know if I missed anything. If y'all heard some gaming news y'all want me to know, hey, leave it down in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video.